Welcome to the intro of an intro. I'm Beau Knight. First things first, if you're watching this, only 20% of my watchers are actually subscribed to my channel. So please go subscribe to my channel. It would mean the world. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, stick around until after the video because I will tell you the story on how I was ran over by a cow. You can see the scar and my dad almost went to jail over it. You're gonna want to see that. Let's jump right in the video. Beau here and welcome back to the video. Today I'm gonna go over 3 winter beach spots you can go to right now in Mexico. But first, I need to go drop off my laundry. Just made it to one of my favorite spots in Guadalajara, which is basically just this walking path in Chapultepec. It's so nice, so peaceful, till the light turns green, and then it gets crazy again. But hey, let's jump right into number 1, which is Sayulita. Sayulita is about a 3 to 4 hour bus ride from Guadalajara. The beaches are beautiful. It has a kind of a hippie vibe to it. It's relaxed. Definitely not the cheapest place, but I actually did make a promotional video for them, so I'll throw it up right here.
Discover Sayulita, a beautiful beach town with a lively community and boho spirit, offering quiet, secluded beaches and gorgeous sunsets located right on the Pacific Ocean. Its warm beach weather and ocean breeze will put your mind at ease.
So if you are looking to go to Sayulita, you can actually fly right into Puerto Vallarta, take a bus from Puerto Vallarta to Sayulita, 1 hour. Puerto Vallarta is very, very popular. Sayulita is still popular, but you won't have to fight near the crowds. So I hope to see you in Sayulita. One thing I was not expecting was I was just sitting there and all of a sudden the bush started moving next to me. A giant rat was right there. That is one thing in this area that you do see, and it's because of all this foliage they have behind us. All these flowers and everything is a great habitat for rats to live in. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but it definitely surprised the hell out of me. I actually walked over to Mercado, Mexico to show you guys a coffee shop. However, I didn't even last 30 seconds setting up my camera and the security guard just like kicked me out. I would think it would be in their best interest to have me like film the coffee and stuff like that. And it wasn't even the coffee shop owner, it was just some security guard that was like, no photography. I was like, it's for YouTube. He's like, no, out. I was like, whatever. So hey, let's talk about number 2, which is Isla Holbox. And this island is actually about 3 hours from Cancun Airport, and shout out to Daniel because he supplied a lot of the footage because I've been there 3 times now. However, every time I go there, I am exhausted from filming, never even get out my camera. Like, it's basically an island that's Wi-Fi sucks, and you're on an incredible island that the roads are even sand. Like, I mean, it's so much fun. It's basically an island though that you go hang out, read books, and lay on the beach. They have awesome whale shark tours, they have kayaking tours, and like this island is incredible. So if you are in the area and you want a short trip that's from Cancun, that's not like super touristy, I mean it's touristy but not super touristy, definitely check out La Holbox. You will fly into Cancun Airport, take a 3-hour shuttle to the ferry, and it's about a 30-minute ferry to Isla Holbox from the port. So it's super easy to get to. You can even rent a private car, I think, for about $150 USD to take you to the port with like 4 friends. So hey, go check it out. One thing I forgot to mention about Holbox, it is extremely famous for lobster pizza. This stuff is delicious. Like, I mean, it's a pizza with lobster on it, like, and they give you butter sauce. It's like probably one of the most healthy things in the world. So if you're in Holbox, make sure you check out the lobster pizza.
Please enjoy this brief commercial break.
Hey, I don't know if you guys noticed the new Knights Toys merch, but they're on sale right now. Every shirt sold supplies 20 meals to hungry families, or 10 toys to kids, or 2 sets of school supplies for kids to learn. A great, great cause. This is actually the nonprofit that I started 3 years ago. If you want more information, go to www.knightstoys.org. And I mean, these shirts are comfortable. These are soft. They are actually the Bella canvas shirts. They are incredibly soft. We did not skimp on quality whatsoever. if you want to order, DM me right here, DM Knight's Toys, DM Lindy Goodman right here. We can get you set up, and I'm offering free shipping and a free gift. So what are you waiting for? Get your order in now. Now, let's talk about number 3. Number 3 is Bacalar, which is actually situated about 5 hours south of Cancun, down by the Belize border. And Bacalar is special because it has a lot of water activities and it's not really a beach. I'm gonna call it a beach, but it's actually on a freshwater lake that's absolutely gorgeous. The water is crystal clear. Not during the rainy season, but whenever you go in this winter, it probably will be crystal clear. And I actually have a ton of YouTube videos on it, so here's a couple clips from them. The Yak Hostel offers plenty of activities. They have sailing tours, boat tours, and my personal favorite, the Sunrise Paddleboard Tour.
Sun's just rising, you can see it in the background. I know I already said this is like an incredible experience, but it is awesome. I mean, like, hands down, best money I've spent so far.
In and around Bacalar, there is plenty to do. From Yak Hostel, you are a 5-minute walk from downtown Bacalar, where there are plenty of restaurants and a bit of shopping and a castle. The castle was built for protection from the pirates that continually raided the town in the 17th century. A little further down the road is Cenote Azul. It is a great place to spend the afternoon and cool off. That was Bacalar, and the easiest way to get there is from Cancun. It's about 5 hours south, down by the Belize border. You can either take a bus for 5 hours, or a car will probably take you about 4 if you have enough people to rent a car. Thank you so much for watching, but first I have an announcement. I get the question tons and tons, Beau, what do you do? Like, we see you on the days that you're filming how-to videos, how to travel and stuff like that, but what do you do the rest of the time? So I decided to start a channel called Beau Knight Daily. Every 2 weeks, I'll film one whole day of my life. If I'm going to a ball game, I'll film it. If I'm going on an adventure, if I'm going to the co-working space, I'll show you what I'm working on. Basically, I want it to be fully transparent to where you guys will be able to see my daily life, how I make money, and basically how I spend my money, and just basically full transparency, because I get a lot of questions that people don't understand how I do this. So hey, it's gonna be filmed on a GoPro and Drone Max, no $3,000 Sony camera. It's gonna be extremely raw, extremely good. So go subscribe to that channel. It's linked down below. And like always, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Stick around for the story. Beau out.
Subscribe now.
How I got ran over by a cow. The whole hostel's packed right now, so I decided why not just film it in the room. So let me set the scene for you. I'm 5 years old, and we're out in the corrals. If you don't know what corrals are, it's basically a big pen that you keep cattle in. And growing up, I was always around cattle. It was nonstop for me. I would literally go out and play with the cows. Like, they were super tame. Like, I mean, it was just normal for me to be like an ag, be like chasing chickens, and like, that was my life every single day. So the story goes, I was in the pen. I had bottle calves. If you don't know what bottle calves are, they're bottle calves that don't have mothers. So basically you become their adopted mother, to where you have to go out there and feed them milk every single day till they get big enough they can eat grain. But those calves are extremely, extremely tame, because they have always seen you as a motherly figure, I think. So like, mentally, they are not scared of you whatsoever. So me being me, I'm in the pen playing. And my dad told me 5 or 6 times, Beau, I'm gonna dump the grain in the trough. If you don't know what a trough is, I'll put a picture up right here. This is a cattle trough that you dump grain in, and they all come up and eat. And my dad told me 5 or 6 times, get out of the pen, I'm gonna dump the grain in there, because if you dump the grain in there, they all freak out and they go running as fast as they can. And me being me, I'm 5 and probably maybe 50 pounds, like, I'm tiny still. And I do not listen. Just casual Beau, just do not listen. And he says, oh, whatever, and dumps the grain. Well, my bucket calf, the calf that was a orphan, or like sees me as a mother, like I'm over there playing with and stuff, well, he dumps the grain in. and they get spooked, which they kind of go like crazy, you know, and they run right over the top of me, like literally just like right over the top of me. And I don't know if you can see it right here, but I actually have a scar, and one of their hooves stepped right square middle of my head. At this time, we are about 10 miles outside of town. My sister is there. She sees it happen. She thinks Beau is dead, which jokes on her because I'm pretty tough. But anyways, she thinks Beau is dead. Like the calf stepped on my head, and I think the calf's name was Shadow. For some reason, I think the calf's name was Shadow. That was my deal, though, is I would always name the calves and stuff like that. So Shadow stepped on my head, and there's blood everywhere, right? My dad's like, oh shit. So my dad takes his shirt off, right? And this is in Meade, Kansas. This is like, he moved to Meade, Kansas to manage the co-op. I'm 5 years old. My sister's 7 or 8. And like, they did not know him very, very well. We had just moved to that town for maybe a month. So we're not very well known in the town or anything like that. And my dad takes his shirt off, wraps his shirt on my head. So they load me up in the single cab pickup we used to call Old Whitey. It was like an 86 Chevy. I'll throw up a picture right here. Maybe an 82 Chevy. It was an old pickup. And go flying into town. Lindy's bawling. I can't remember if I was crying or not. Like I have this weird vision of me being third person. I was laying down. My legs were on my sister. My butt was in the middle, and then my head was on my dad's lap. My dad's applying pressure as he's driving to my forehead, and he's not wearing a shirt. Remember? So, and I'm covered in manure, like with just cow poop also, because I've been playing in the corrals all day long, so not the most sanitary situation, but that's normal me growing up. That was just me. And we get to the hospital. Just imagine, my dad walking in there, he's like a string bean. I mean, he probably weighs 120 pounds. He's gained weight now, but he used to be like a string bean. No shirt on, jeans that are dirty. I'm sure he's wearing boots. Me, with my boots and all my cowboy stuff on. I'm sure I had spurs and everything else on too, which spurs are what goes on the back of the cowboy boot that spins like to ride horses with, but I never really rode horses. And my sister, which is absolutely just in tears bawling, we go busting through the emergency room. They're like, what the hell? This kid has a cut right here, blood's all over, like, because head wounds bleed a lot. And then all of a sudden, we're gonna switch over to I don't remember anything really after this, but I've been told the story tons and tons of times. They bring me in, they clean me up, and they separate my dad and me. Like, cause you gotta remember, this looks like child abuse to the T. Like, I mean, who comes into the emergency room and says, hey, my kid got ran over by a cow? Probably like, this is like a 1 in 1,000, maybe 1 in 100,000 situation where my kid got ran over by a cow, and it looks awfully like child abuse. It's not a funny matter, but you gotta remember that we were brand new in the town. None of the nurses knew us. None of the hospital knew us. My dad was managing the co-op, so he's like, I'm the co-op manager, and they're like, we don't care. Co-op manager can still beat his kids. So it looked like child abuse, and luckily one of the nurses, one of the nurses' husband was on the co-op board and was actually either came there or something and kind of sorted out the situation. And she's like, no, it's not okay, but it's like, this is like, they have cows south of town. Lindy is bawling and saying that, so they had, I think they even questioned my sister. Lindy was like, what happened? She's like, Beau got ran over by a cow. So the next thing I remember, like, that whole thing was a blur, okay? I had this big old like wad around my head. I wish I was at home because I could dig up the pictures, but I had this big old like, they stitched me up, and then I had this big old wad of like gauze or whatever all the way around my head. And I remember I couldn't wash my hair for, I don't know, probably like a week or something. And I remember being in the basement, that's where the bathtub was, and me just being like, what the hell happened? And my mom's like washing me and stuff, because you gotta remember that I'm still covered, like I'm like, well, not covered in manure, but I'm still dirty. I've been playing the whole day. This happened in the evening, and I'm just like, huh. And she's like trying to cheer me up and tell me everything's okay, you know, and yada yada yada. I'm actually pretty sure it was probably more traumatic for my sister than anybody, because she's like bawling because she thinks Beau's dead. So hey, I hope you like this story. I'm gonna throw up as many images as I can, because I understand that my audience isn't like super heavy into ag. So some of these words and stuff I use may confuse you or may get you to where you don't follow the story nearly as good. So I'm gonna throw up as many photos as I can. So hey, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to subscribe to my new channel, which will have a video out next Thursday. So hey, thank you so much for watching. Beau out.
Subscribe now. Subscribe now.